Hi everyone. So I'm a little bit at the end of my day. I'm at the rambly point of my day. So we'll see how long this video takes. But I was kind of thinking through and I was kind of watching back on my Deeper Beauty series where basically I've talked about so far, kind of reflecting the last 10 years of my makeup journey, some makeup rehab tips that I've been using for myself, some project painting tips that I've been using for myself as well, and just kind of reflecting through um, different areas of my makeup journey. And it's been really cool. But I think I was really thinking about like in the moment where I am tempted to be buying things, I'm tempted to purchase something, I am lusting after something, I'm coveting after something, right? Like I want that and it's not in my collection yet. And I obviously have more than enough stuff to work through. So, I think some of the things where what I tell myself in the moment, I think is really important because I think it's really easy when you reflect and things like that. It's been like, oh, like I didn't need that because XYZ, and you've had time to think about it. But honestly, like it's in the moment that you need to be preparing for. I think that's something that like you need a game plan, right? Like a battle plan for when the battle actually occurs. Like you need a game plan to know what are you going to tell yourself, how you're going to get yourself out of it. And I think for a lot of people, some people will say like, "Oh, just shop your stash, like go and play with your makeup and all that stuff." And I'm like, I am on a web page right now, like to all the steps in between me needing to convince myself to stop looking at the web page, turn off my computer, step away, go to my collection, pull out things, and then play with my makeup. Like that's a lot of steps. But what happens between me looking at that web page and the product in my cart and me closing out of it? Right? Like what do I tell myself between those two steps? And I think that's something that I've really had to equip myself with. And I think every person should. If you are serious about your makeup rehab journey and you're serious about really stopping yourself from purchasing things, you need to have a game plan. Like, don't just say, like, oh, you're going to step away or that, oh, you're going to take a break. Sometimes it still comes back at you like full force. Like, that happened to me even just last night. I was looking at something and then I it was literally the middle of the night, right? Like my cognition and my ability to think things straight. And honestly, as a mom of young kids, I can't think straight anyways to begin with. But at the middle of the night, after dealing with waking up to, to my toddler yelling and then to my baby needing to feed, like my brain is not functioning. And so, like at that hour, right? What do I tell myself to stop myself from purchasing? And actually, what I ended up doing was I told myself, oh, I can maybe purchase up to a certain amount. I mean, I'm financially able to do that. So I was like, okay, up to X amount, I can purchase that and then be done with it. Because I think it was just my anxiety and my emotions were just so like ramped up, and I just felt like I needed to purchase something to get out of that. And so I purchased it, and then I ended up needing to go downstairs and go to the kitchen in the middle of the night to like do something. And I kept thinking about it, and actually, what I ended up doing was pulling up my own video about not playing the about like well, basically the point I was trying to get to was not playing the game, because what prompted me to purchase something in the first place was that you know one of the companies was one of the stores retailers was like, oh, if you buy this then you get this many points, and I was like, oh, I want to play the game. And then I told myself, and I realized like, oh, I'm actually playing the game and I don't want to play the game. Like, I don't want to be duped like that. So I ended up canceling my order, and telling myself like it's not worth it. Like that product I was eyeing was really for the sake of the game and not necessarily really useful to my life. So in that way, it was a success, but it was kind of like retroactive. And I wish that I was more stubborn and like had maybe some of these things I'm about to talk about under my belt, um, so that and like really, yeah, really holding to it. And so all that to say, what I'm trying to say is like if you feel like you're struggling with between the checking out portion and looking at the products online and actually clicking out of it, like this is really a pep talk for myself and hopefully a little bit for you, is to like what you can say to yourself to get out of it. And it really is like my mental talk, right? It's really your self-talk that helps you get out of these situations. Sometimes I can't contact a friend fast enough. Sometimes my friends aren't even awake because it's the middle of the night. Sometimes I can't step away, like I said, and like look at my own makeup and swatch things and whatnot. Which, yeah, it's helpful, I think, in the bigger picture, but in the moment, like, what do you need, right? Um, and I think it's just like this self talk that I've really had to train myself in over the years, in order to really be like hold fast to my own makeup goals and my makeup spending goals. Okay, well, let's see. Let's dive in. So, one of the things that often triggers me is a sale or a potential sale or like points or something like that. And I think some of the first things I say to myself is if I see something that seems super tempting and seems like a really good discount, right? Um, I often tell myself that sale will come again. I have things to work on. That sale will come again when it's time for me to purchase something, like when I actually have the need for it. The sale will come again. Like it's not a huge rush. Like things go on, like even Sephora, right? Like everyone's going, like running after the VIB sale. And it comes twice a year. And even last year in 2023, it came twice a year. And then in December or was it November for Black Friday? Like I think yeah, for like Black Friday and Cyber Monday, they again came out with another 20% off. It was just like I mean, the company wants money, right? Like our economy is not doing great. They want the money, so they're pushing sales. So the fact that, and I think for a lot of us, we know that there is, like, we already kind of know in our head, like exactly what's time things go on sale. Um, or like when companies will like run their sales and things like that. So it's like, yeah, just wait. And so right now, yeah, I have a few things that I might check out for the April VIB sale, but I'm trying to wait till then. Um, so the sale will come again. Another one is I was joking with a friend. We were both influenced by someone and by like a foundation, and we were just like, is that really for us? Like, should we just go out and buy it? But I was like, I really need to swatch it. I really need to get a sample of it and not buy anything right away. And so on the spot, I came up with swatch everything, buy nothing. Right? It's just like I can go into Sephora or into Ulta or wherever places I can swatch things and just swatch everything. Like my entire arm can be lined with stuff and walk out buying nothing. I think just the fact of me getting to touch and play with makeup is actually in itself something that I really enjoy. And I don't have to buy anything to have that excitement of swatching products that are new to me that I don't have. I just need to go to a store where I can do that and have fun with it and walk out buying nothing unless there's something obviously I really need. But it's usually just like a brush or like a pack of face pads or something. It's just like things that I'm working through. But yeah, if you want to be experiencing new to you products, you don't always have to buy. You can swatch things, like especially here in the US where I am, it's totally possible. That's how companies like sell their products. And use it as a marketing strategy is like you can swatch stuff, which is really nice, honestly. And it can has its pros and cons at your own risk. It's not always clean, right? So do it at your risk. But for me, that is really exciting. And that's why I walk into Sephora often and just watch and then walk out not buying anything. And the store associates are probably so mad at me, but I need to protect my own money and my own spending and my own goals. And that has nothing to do with what the store associates make. I'm pretty sure they're paid by the hour, so they shouldn't care. And I shouldn't care about what they care about. Um, I respect them. I love what they're doing. But what I'm saying is, you know, I don't have to take it so personally what I think they might be thinking of me. It's just my head gets into my head. So let's keep moving. Another thing that I've been telling myself too is if I'm really looking at something and I want it for myself, and I know that I need to put it down, I tell myself it's for other people. It's for other people to enjoy, hopefully people that can really use it. But I don't need to take something into my collection knowing that I actually won't get that much joy out of it because it's going to end up just on the side for a long while even before I really get around to using it. And so I think that mentality is honestly really refreshing for me, is because I'm actually thinking of other people that can maybe be using the makeup and not just me using the makeup. And so to tell myself like it's for other people. It actually came from me talking to my toddler. Honestly, teaching my toddler how to practice delayed gratification has really helped me. Where she's often, I mean, she's a toddler, she wants things. And so she's looking at things and pointing at them, being like, I want that, I want this, I want that. And so I often tell her it's for other people, it's for other kids, it's for another time. It's just always using the word other. And I think that puts you a little bit outside of yourself. And it's actually, I've even heard it from my toddler now that she looks at a toy and she holds it up to me. She's like, it's for other kids. Um, which I find is really touching. Maybe she means it, that it really is for other kids, and she's allowing, letting go of that to give to other kids, but also just the fact that she's practicing that self talk in many ways of saying, like, it's not for right now and it's for later. And, like, I give my toddler plenty of gifts. Like don't worry. I'm not withholding anything from her. But I think the idea is that we don't need everything, right? And that if we don't buy it, that means it allows other people to buy it and hopefully other people to enjoy it. We don't really know where it's going to go, but that's our hope. And by not purchasing it, we can give it that chance that it deserves. Okay, I'm looking through my notes here. Okay, so some of my chicken scratch doesn't make any sense, so I'm just gonna try to move on. Okay, I think sometimes I see in my notes a few different phrases that I often use too. But I think the idea I'm trying to get at, and probably the last one I'll touch on right now because I can find my brain starting to unravel a little bit, is just a sense of commitment. Like when I look at something that I want to buy, like, am I really wanting to commit to this? Am I really wanting to bring this into my collection and use it up till the end? And I think if you watch my channel enough and if you understand my, makeup consumption enough, is like if I can figure out a way to use it, whether it be by frankening it or depotting it or, using it in different packaging, like I'm all for that. That's fine. Um, but am I really ready to commit to it, right? Like, especially given that makeup products expire and skincare products expire, like, can I really commit to it in the time frame I have to use it up? If I can't or don't think or I'm not confident in it, I often need to put it aside, like put it in my wish list or whatever, because it's just not worth it. It actually is not doesn't mean anything to me, even if it's in my hands and I'm not able to use it, right? It really only holds its true value when I'm actually actively using it. So that's something I think about too. And another thing I also think about, I know I just said that was the last one, but this one I've actually been using a lot lately, is when I'm looking at a product and I feel like, oh, I just want to grab this because, there's a sale or whatever. I sometimes think about like a lot of products I'm looking at aren't limited edition. Rarely. I know some people are collectors and you want your limited edition products, but for me, like I I don't always love the things that come out with limited edition products. I mean, the packaging is really nice, but like the shades don't work for me. It's products that I might not necessarily need. So it doesn't really make sense for me to pick it up, other than just for the sake of packaging, which is a little bit silly to me. And so what I end up thinking is, when the products that I do end up looking at is like, oh, these have actually been around for a really long time. And they're probably still going to be around by the time that I actually need to purchase them. I mean, yeah, sometimes it's happened where actually a lot of times it's happened where by the time I end up wanting to purchase them or remember about them, they're gone. Um, but it's like, okay, that's just the cycle of makeup, right? That happens. But I think some other things, yeah, but I think just, especially since I am really trying to use up things now, like I am in need of certain things pretty soon in the future. So I think I just need to wait until I'm ready for that. And to remind myself, like, it's going to be there by the time I need it, and to not necessarily grab it now just because it's on sale, or I can get whatever perks I'm thinking of, trying to reach free shipping, or some of the other things that I talked about in the past too, some of those perks that the company tries to give you. And so just to wait till then, I think maybe an example would be, I was thinking of a new deodorant that I wanted to try. I'm not super picky about deodorants, but this one stood out to me and I was like, oh, this is really interesting. There's good reviews, whatever. Let me just buy it now because of this, this promo that this company was having. And then I just like took a step back and was like, this product has been around for a long time. It's well loved by a lot of people. Like, there's no reason for this company to pull it from its shelves. And so why don't I just wait until I'm done with my current deodorant and then maybe look into it when I'm almost ready to have a new deodorant. So I was able to talk myself out of that one. And I think that's just the mentality that I need to hold with a lot of things, because I also hate to have a lot of products waiting in the wings, when I could maybe just pick it up when I'm, more ready to use it and I've used up most of, my products in that category. So I feel like I'm talking a little bit in circles now, which always ends up happening in these videos. I'm sorry, but hopefully the idea I'm trying to get across is these are the types of things that I am telling myself, right? Things like, the sale will come again. That way I can walk away from the sale and not look back, really. Swatch it, but don't buy it. That way I can be like, okay, earmark that to swatch at the store when I'm there, And then when I get to the store, I'll probably decide not to buy it. That's just historically what I'm like. It's for other people. That way I can look at a product and be like, it's for other people. I don't need it for myself, and hoping that someone else will enjoy it. And just the sense of, am I really willing to commit to it, and to the lifespan that it has, and to the product that it is, and commit to all of it, right? And oftentimes the answer is no. I'm not ready to commit to it. I'm not ready to bring it in like that. It's kind of like a relationship with a person, right? You have to bring it in, good or bad, ugly, exciting. You bring all it, the product, as much as it's just an inanimate project. I feel like a lot of us have emotional connections with our products, and so I think we just have to be ready for that, like to commit to all of it, right? Like I don't love everything about every single one of my products, but I've committed to it, and I'm put up with it and work it out of my collection. um and the last one of being able just to wait, and just know that it's gonna be there when I'm ready for it, and that's okay. So, all right. Well, I hope that sharing some of these things will help you out, that it maybe adds a little bit to your game plan and your battle plan when, those hard moments hit. This is a good reminder for me as well, that these are the types of self-talk. This is the type of self-talk that I need to be giving to myself whenever I find myself in those moments. And I am often weak. I am often struggling. And I think just a reminder again, that you're not alone in this. That I think a lot of us have a similar struggle, and it takes a lot of practice to honestly build up your own self-talk, and to build up, strengthen those moments to walk away, and that willpower to do so. And that I've started again to turn to prayer. That I don't always depend on myself and my own willpower and my own strength to get through those tough moments. Um, and to be able to put down something, but to really ask Jesus, ask the Lord, just to be able to help me, that I need a strength that's not my own. I need a willpower that's not my own. I need someone to speak some sense into me, that this is not worth my money, and that I don't need to spend in order to feel happy. Just to remind myself of that. And so I find that praying and taking some time away from whatever I'm freaking out about in my head, that always seems to just still a little bit, often just enough for me to like kick in those those like self-talk phrases, and like start rolling through those to kind of get myself away from that moment and from buying those products. So yeah, please let me know what you thought of this. I know it's kind of a weird topic to talk about, but it's honestly been something really big in my life and really big in my makeup journey. And I hope that it helps you just a little bit, at least to start thinking about what that means to you. So good luck on your own battle plan and your own game plan for that moment, not the, big arching ideas that I think sometimes we have, to try to talk ourselves out of it, but like have that ready, have that at the get-go, so that you can look at it, write it down, post it somewhere, and just practice it. And I'm sure that it will help in the long run. So good luck, and let me know in the comments if you have any thoughts about this. I'm happy to maybe chat more about this down the road. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.